Welcome to the Movie Draft Podcast. I'm Ethan Simi, and today I'm joined by two incredible guests, both of whom are returning guests. First up is Bobbi of Culture Kitsch.
Hello. So happy to be back.
And next up is Marta McFly.
Hello, hello. Nice to be back.
And today we are drafting movie kissing scenes in a regular style draft. Now, both of you, we are recording this on Thursday, January 30th. Valentine's Day is still 2 weeks away. This episode is going to come out in celebration of Valentine's Day. And I thought, what a better way to celebrate the holiday of romance, the holiday of love, than, one of the most formative types of scenes in films over the last 80 to 90 years. Bobbi, I reached out to you. This has been on our calendar for quite a long time here.
Mm-hmm.
And we've wanted to do it on the Draft Pod, but I reached out to you, and just because of all the incredible content you put out on social media, and I was like, I'm sure Bobbi would be interested in this. You DM me back so fast, and you were like, nothing would bring me more joy than to be on this draft, and here you are. How are you doing?
I'm doing so good. I feel like I was recruited because I am one of Film Twitter's horniest members, so I know why I'm here. And I'm glad to fulfill that quota. But when you DM me, I was like, oh, hell yeah. Like I would have said yes to any draft, but specifically this one, I feel tailor-made for.
Yeah, that is kind of why I wanted you here on the show. I kind of wanted
I knew it.
You know exactly what you're in for and why you're recruited. I appreciate that. And I will just say, if you don't follow Bobbi on Twitter, recommend, because there have been multiple occasions, Bobbi, and I got to tell you this, that my wife has been trying to change her hair and dye it and color it. And you post some incredible pictures of your hair. And I got to say, your pinned tweet where you have pictures of you and your hair and you say, y'all, it's worse. I left devastatingly sexy. top 10 tweet of just all time on the platform. Incredible stuff.
Thank you.
The last time that you were here was for the film franchise auction draft back in episode 21. Mm-hmm. It was a mega draft with 6 people.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever done that since. And that was quite an endeavor. Marta, welcome back to the pod. Famously, the last time you were here was for the A24 horror collaborative draft debacle. I will name it a debacle here. That was back in episode 42. Hereditary got played at 3 and just absolute shambles for you and myself and Ben. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm nervous. I think that draft that we did, the debacle, may be better for me than this one. I don't know why you asked me to come on for this one. I'll be completely honest. And I thought it was going to be easy. And then I went through my phone because I have a letterbox list of like my top, I think it's like 52 or something movies. And I'm thinking to myself like, ha, so cocky. And I realize while I like romance movies, I'm a fan of unrequited love. So all the movies that I was thinking of, they almost kiss, but they don't. So if this was a draft of almost kissing moments, I'm your girl.
Maybe we can do an almost kissing draft in the future, and we'll just run it back or something.
Yep.
I think, Marta, you have a deeper film knowledge than most people that I know, and it's a little bit off the beaten path. So I was hoping that maybe, you could bring some cool, maybe more unknown films to the draft. I don't know. The only reason that I'm on this draft is because I'm host of the show and I refuse to miss a draft. We were talking right before we started recording. There's no way in hell I'm prepared for this draft. And I've gotten on drafts before and been like, well, this is the one I'm the least prepared for. This is the one I'm the least prepared for. I just want to tell you guys right now, preparing for this draft, immensely more difficult than I would have anticipated, because I drew up the notes and I was like, easy. I'm just going to go through my watch list and I'm just going to be like, oh yeah, they kiss in that movie. Yeah, they kiss in that movie. Like, I'm going to write it down. Just couldn't do it for the life of me. Bobbi, how are you feeling about your poll and your preparation here? Did you have kind of a mental cabinet full of moments ready to pull from?
A little bit, yeah. Now I feel bad because I was like, I feel pretty confident with my list. Like, I was going to play it down and be like, yeah, I don't know. But like, honestly, like, this is kind of my moment. So I did have already like a like as soon as I knew what the draft was going to be, I already had one in mind, like one scene in mind. And so then from there with the categories, I did use the internet, and I know Ethan did too. He used Twitter to
Maybe.
source.
I don't know.
Yeah, I noticed that as well.
Yeah,
Not
Is that
cool.
illegal, guys? Is that illegal?
Cheating.
You know, that's not. I'm just sourcing from the people. This is, after all, a draft that is determined by the people.
Sure. Anyways, I looked at your
Okay.
I looked at your thread, and I was like, none of these are really speaking to me. And then I remembered in my pop
Mhm.
culture brain that MTV since like 1991 has been giving out an award for best kiss,
Have
and
they?
that
Wow.
really
Maybe I should-
helped me out with my list. So
Mhm.
Maybe I should look that up. That's great. I'm glad you mentioned it so early in this
Damn,
episode where I
shouldn't have-
could where I
I
could look
shouldn't
at
have
this
done that.
Wikipedia. This is great. No, I really appreciate that. Thanks so much.
Never mind. Actually, there were
Um,
no good kisses on that list. Don't even look at it. I'm not even. Worth
I
it.
wouldn't be surprised if you were like a moderator on this wiki page and you just took it down on the spot.
Like,
as
oh my
I
God,
as I
the
learned
link
that.
is broken. That's so crazy.
I can't believe you gave that up. It's got nominees and winners.
How do you
This
not
right
know
now,
this
what you
even?
just told me is better than the hours of research that I've done at my day job
How?
while
But,
I've been
like,
pretending to work.
what did you have before?
Lady and the Tramp.
Oh,
That's a pretty big one
I
for
had
me.
that too.
Okay.
I had that
We're gonna find out as we go. We're gonna find out as we go. This is going to be an interesting draft for sure. So I do want to at least use this as a moment. I kind of always try to ask a question that ties to a big, broader movie topic, depending on what we're talking about. Marta, I'll toss it to you first. Kissing scenes, obviously, a big kind of much contested thing in old Hollywood, obviously with the Hays Code and the big history of that. Still a pretty hotly contested theme in films, I would say. Maybe not necessarily kissing, but sex in film is definitely always on the film Twitter table ripe for the taking, it seems, every week. Where do you stand? Kissing, sex, romance in movies. What's your take?
Let's go. Give me all of that. I think I probably rival Bobbi as also being incredibly horny when it comes to movies. So yeah, no, I love it all. Now that I think about it, honestly, doing all the research for this made me realize when it comes to international movies, because that's kind of where I usually gravitate towards. There's a period of time where there's just practically no kissing. Like I was particularly thinking about Japanese movies a lot, and there isn't a lot of it, more so in the Ozu era, stuff like that. But I mean, I have Realm of the Senses right behind me here, which is essentially just glorified adult content, basically in a movie. Also on the Criterion Channel, if anybody wants to know. So yeah, I mean, I'm very much so open to it, and I feel like society recently has been turning away from that. Only this year do I feel like we're getting back into our horny era again, what with like Challengers and nothing else is coming to mind right now, but you know what I mean. But up until Nosferatu, up until I would say maybe early, let's say 2024, I think that society was kind of veering away from horniness again, which I find really interesting.
Yeah. I think the slogan for this episode should be "Make movies horny again."
Yes.
And honestly, you have both made me realize why I am actually here today. It is because I am also a very horny film person. And that's just what I like in my movies. Marta, I will say I'll reveal a little bit of our film critics Discord that goes on. There's recently Severin Films picked up a physical print of a Russ Meyer film titled Up, 1976. I started watching this film, and you mentioned your movies and how they're just a glorified adult content in cinema style. Boy, this movie is something. This movie is for the horny people out there, because that's what it is. So yeah, look it up if you're interested. Severin is coming out with a physical copy of it. On that front, Bobbi, I mean, I know where you stand, but do you have anything to add to the discourse here?
I mean, like it feels like an argument on film Twitter every 2 to 5 business weeks about the state of horniness and romance and all those things. And it's a lot of people raging against the whole like Puritan Gen Z conversation, which I think is growing tiresome, because I think we know why some of these groups of people feel this way. And so now I'm at the point of like, what do we do about it? But I think, and I've always thought this, I think the people who have a kind of deterrent away from like wanting to see sex scenes or wanting to see kissing scenes is the difference between like something being like erotic versus something like just kind of being surface level horny. And I think people are kind of seeking and yearning for eroticism, and it can be found in movies where nothing really happens. But I think in our very like irony addicted culture where everything is like nothing goes surface level, everything, nothing's earnest, like people don't know how to tap into that real like earnest intimacy that is required for things to legitimately feel horny and erotic. So I just think people should be a little bit more earnest, and then they can really tap into the horny like third eye in their in their mind, and then that would just make things significantly better. But yeah, I definitely think we're swinging back. Like challengers for it to have essentially like no real sex scenes was incredibly like horny, and it definitely carried this air about it that was like very sexy. And so hopefully that will become like the standard again versus like an exception.
Yeah. I love how you put it. I totally agree with that. And I think there's actually like a lot of 2024 releases that try to tackle that idea and that notion like in completely different ways. Right before we were recording, we were talking about The Brutalist, a movie that is essentially driven by a tormented relationship to sexual acts. And I think that's like one of the very big themes of that film. And so it's really interesting to try to watch movies in a modern culture that have that. I align with you both on this idea that I think, Bobbi, you put really well, like this irony addicted culture where nothing can be taken with like an ounce of like interest and intent and like total earnesty is really, really screwing this up for movies. And you know, Bobbi, you called me out on doing my research. You put it out there too. You did it in more discreet terms. And I replied to you for some godforsaken reason because I was like, oh, she's just tweeting normal. And then I was like, oh, no, she's looking deep.
Listen, Scout's Honor, that legitimately was just like an idea, like crowdsourcing ideas for the channel thing. I already had my list. I already was prepared. I didn't need to cheat like you.
There's no cheating, you know? I source. That's all. That's all that I try to do.
Interesting.
Look, it really shouldn't matter to you because I've won 3 drafts in the last 55 episodes. So I wouldn't be, or 57, excuse me. This would be episode 57. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be 4 today. We shall see what happens. Did either of you do any prep work, strategizing, anything going into this draft? Marta, I know you DM'd me with a question, and I think we should bring that up in just a second and put a pin in that because I think it's something we need to decide on here before we draft. But yeah, did you guys do any prep for this?
Did I do prep? I mean, I was floundering, man. I was just trying to find stuff. But it does bring up an interesting subject of, were you guys looking for your favorite kissing scenes, or were you looking for just the best in cinema? Because what I found through my research was there's so many scenes that are iconic, but they're from movies that may not necessarily be my favorite. So I went majority with stuff that I personally love. Now, will that be good for me? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have anything to reveal on this front. I empty on the streets, empty in the head. So we'll see what happens. Bobbi, what about you? The preparation, I mean, I know you already kind of had it ready to go. Did you have to do anything else? Or like, did you at least make a short list for this?
I mean, I have a couple of choices for each category, and I did the same thing where I wasn't just going with like a movie, number one, that I like hadn't seen because I don't think I could really defend it. But I wanted to think about the kiss in the context of where it is in the movie and like what does it mean for that point in the film. So like what does it represent and like all of those things. And I think you could just pick the like hottest and heaviest kiss and like easily kind of win by a landslide. But I wanted to think about like, okay, at this point in the movie, what has happened to these two people and like what does this kiss represent, I guess. So that was my strategy going into it.
I don't know if you feel this way, Marta, but I just feel like we're outclassed here. I just feel like we're done. We're done
1,000%.
We're done in the dirt as it stands. Haven't even started the draft.
No, I say all that and I'll lose. Like,
no way. No way.
I will lose by a landslide because people will be like, she wants it too bad, I think.
No. Look, this is a discourse that was going around the other day that I saw somebody talking about. Like, when did it become bad to like want to win stuff? Like when did it become bad to want to win an Oscar? My boy Bradley Cooper out here catching all the fucking flack in the world just because he wants a little statue. Give the man a statue.
That's true.
Bobby, if you want to win, I feel like you could win. I don't know how you performed last time here on your draft, but I tell you didn't win. So maybe that'll help put you in your place a little bit here going into the draft. There is a first round pick in my opinion. And there's a clear number one overall for this draft.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Bobby disagrees. Oh.
I don't know. Okay. Maybe.
Maybe I do believe that. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm just trying to throw stuff out there and see what happens, see what sticks.
Now you're just trying to sabotage.
Maybe. We'll see. Okay, we'll see. Let's talk about the draft. Let's talk about the categories, and we will spin for our spots, and we will start drafting. We're going to do 6 categories. This is a regular style draft, meaning that we are going to be doing a snake style. So drafter A, B, C, C, B, A, back and forth until we fill out our teams of 6. The 6 categories are the usually standard categories that we go for here on regular drafts. We've got drama, comedy, action horror, animated, a little bit different. We swapped out Oscar-winning movie for animated. I felt like it was important to represent that because, as listeners know, I'm not a huge animated guy, so I had to do a little bit of digging on this one. We've got box office, $100 million plus domestically, and wild card. Those are going to be our 6 categories. Now, Marta, you did have a point of order regarding one of these categories, and I feel like we should discuss it briefly.
Yeah. We can discuss it. I mean, you and I discussed it the other day, which caused me to change my pick for that, but let's discuss it anyway. Why not? So I was wondering, you said box office, 100+ million domestic. I asked you, can we adjust that for inflation? Because if it's a movie from like, I don't know, 1952, odds are it likely wouldn't have made that much. But if you were to adjust it, it would. So I said, I think that should count. You said no. That's where we're at.
You make me out to be this terrible person. But Bobby, before you give your input, again, like I did this a few episodes ago. I think I did this for the movie Monsters draft. I texted Ben and Sophie and I was like, what's the ruling on this? Nothing. I just want the world to know I was left to fend for my own devices. Each of my co-hosts, just no input on this decision. So I don't want to enforce a dictatorship here, but I tried to go to the people and they said, no, you take the power. So that's where we're at. Bobby, what do you make of this?
I mean, I have to agree with Marta. I think it makes the most sense because we are pulling from like almost 100 years worth of film and like money has just meant different things at different times. And so like, I don't know. I feel like putting up what like 100 million today does not mean 100 million 10 years ago or 30 years ago or 50 years ago. So I think we should adjust for inflation to standardize.
Yesterday.
Okay.
I moved it. No.
Approved. No, approved. Marta, you can retcon your strategy and go with your heart.
So stressed.
Let it be known. I'm a man of the people. Again, I just want to keep reiterating this. I just do the people's bidding. I'm not here to enforce my strict rules. So we will allow it. Box office 100 million plus domestically. accounting for inflation, if need be, if eligible. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Okay, that's how we'll do that. This is an audio only podcast. So I did just want to briefly say, Bobbi, I really like your Super Yaki t-shirt, physical media forever. I have that sticker on my laptop. Super Yaki, sponsor us. We love your stuff. You're great. Bobbi loves your stuff as well. Yeah, we got to do a Super Yaki collab draft sometimes. Go through their products. Now that would be a draft.
Please call me back for that. My whole closet is Super Yaki.
Yeah, I kid you not. I have too many things. Okay, let's spin for the draft order, shall we? Let's spin. I obviously want to go first.
Okay.
But
for the first and only time.
Yeah, generally when that gets spoken, the person who says that ends up getting the worst spot. So we'll see what happens. I do have the wheel of names now in accordance with our weekly policy here in the show. It is proper name, so capital, and then first name. No all lowercase, no all capitals, no funny Ben business. We're just going with standard names. It doesn't matter on any sense of the word or any level whatsoever, but I find it important for my own sanity. So here we go. We're going to spin the wheel. Jesus Christ. If I don't get first, fuck.
You shouldn't have said it.
I know. I told you. Okay. Marta has been chosen first by the evil spinner here.
Oh, I thought it was Bobbi. Nice.
Sick. No, that's really cool. I actually wanted to go last. That's awesome. So
I always get second, and that's why I didn't say anything. I always am second in these drafts.
This is like the first time I think on your podcast I'm first, Ethan. Wow.
Yeah, it's totally possible. Okay, Marta, you're going to be going first. Bobbi, you're going to be going second. And I am going to be going last, but I will be at the turn. An interesting strategy proposition as per usual.
Yeah, you didn't get the worst spot, which is second. I'm always going to be second.
Yeah, second is the worst spot, I will say.
It sucks.
It's
like
really
so
bad.
depressing.
It sucks.
It's bad. I mean, yeah, Bobbi, you were on for the mega draft where we had 6 people. So
and
like
I was in the middle.
Yeah, people were going like 3 and 4, and that is just detrimental to strategy right there. It's poor. There's probably a reason we have never done a super draft since then, but you're giving me ideas. I kind of liked the chaos. That was a lot of fun back then. Okay, Marta, kick us off. Are you going to be drafting the movie that the kissing scene, I guess, that you think should be first?
Yes. Do you want to guess?
No,
you know
because if it's mine, I'm going to fucking freak out. I'm going to be so
mad. So I'm obviously going to do box office first, and I do not need to do the one that I caused that whole hullabaloo over with. Do we need to use adjusted for inflation or not? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to
dirty strategy trying to mess us up.
What can I tell you? I actually put that one somewhere else, so it will make another appearance. Anyway, I'm obviously going to go with the Titanic. Jack and Rose.
Oh, ooh, interesting.
I thought that would be. Do you guys not think that that's like? Personally, it may not be like my favorite movie, but I think that is the most iconic kiss in a movie.
I have a different kiss of theirs on my list. So can I still draft it, or are we just doing the movies, or is it the kiss?
Oh well, this is interesting.
16.
This is nothing that we have had to determine here before on the draft, because I don't think, and let me reassure, I'm going back through our calendar, and I don't think we've ever drafted particular scenes. But I will say, in general rule, once a movie or a scene or a monster or a person or a character from that film has been selected, the movie goes off the board.
Damn.
Is how we've done things in the past. I would really prefer that we stick with that, because that is a slippery slope for future drafts. So I'm really sorry, Bobbi, but Titanic is off the board.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a good one.
Sorry.
So it's okay.
Which one would have you picked out of curiosity? Because I'm going them at the front of the Titanic.
Front of the ship. Okay.
So the kiss that I was going to draft was when Rose hops off the boat and he's like kissing her. And in between that, he's like, "You're so stupid, Rose. You're so stupid." And it's just like this beautifully like passionate like moment between them where he's like, "Damn, she's really willing to die with me on this boat." So that was the kiss I was gonna go with. It's like a
That's
very
a
quick
good
one.
one. I didn't even think of that one. For me, I was just so enamored by like the swirling romance of them in front of it and him being the king of the world.
They're both superb.
Yeah.
Him and Michael Scott, both kings of the world, in their own rights, on their own boats. Wow. Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet just really, I mean, you guys got me all in a tussle here, because I'm thinking about this kiss and I'm like, wow, that, the car scene and then just the love at the end. This has it all. I was lucky enough to see Titanic when they did the re-release last year, I think it was, maybe in
It
theaters.
was 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 2 years ago. Just a incredible experience. It's kind of
That
crazy
is
how James Cameron has so much juice.
Jim Cam. What a guy.
Big Jim. Scary stuff. Wow. Okay, so we've got Titanic, Jack and Rose, front of the ship. That means that Titanic is off the board, and that's going in box office. Okay, you sure it made enough money? You sure we're over the threshold here?
I am like beyond sure. I've never been more sure in my life.
Just a small indie Titanic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not sure if you've heard of this little guy, Leonardo DiCaprio. Okay, Bobby, you're up.
Okay. That did put a little bit of a dent in my plans, but it's fine. I feel like, I hate to be cocky, but I do feel really confident. So I'm going to just have fun with this. So I'm going to do my animated round.
Wow, interesting.
And I have a couple of movies for that. They're all Disney. Who's shocked? But I'm going to go with Aladdin and Jasmine's very first kiss after, I think it's after A Whole New World. This was the kiss that when I heard that we were doing a kissing scenes draft, this was the first kiss that came to mind, because I remember it being so important to me as a kid because of one little part of the animation. I'm a huge animation nerd, so you're going to realize that very quickly. But there is a part of Mark Hen's animation where you can see their jaw lines, like, because they're moving with a kiss. And when I was a kid, all kisses were very like still to me. Like they weren't very dynamic. And so that was the first time I had seen this like almost like kind of like making out kiss between these two characters. And it's really gorgeous. And Aladdin is one of my favorite movies ever. And that's one of the best kissing scenes to me.
That's excellent.
Smash on both Aladdin and Jasmine. I was going to ask you if you would smash or pass, but I think we're all unanimous on the smashing of the two. It's crazy. I'm just like, as we're picking things here, I'm just Googling them so I can kind of get my bearings. I'm gonna have to watch Aladdin. I've never seen it.
You've never seen Aladdin?
I don't believe so.
What?
I grew up in that golden era of Disney, right? Hercules, Aladdin, Lion King, all of that. I kind of only ever watched Hercules. I got to be honest with you. That's all I remember watching. Yeah.
That was on my list too, to be fair. Hercules and Meg's kiss.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy because my kids are kind of entering their Disney era here. And my youngest, my 4-year-old, Lucy, is like obsessed with the Lion King. Will just sing Can't Wait to Be King, just like whenever her brain sparks it. And it's I wouldn't know because I haven't seen the film. Okay.
That is so interesting to me. Wow. I cannot believe that.
Me too. I had them all on like VHS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ethan,
I mean, I'm all
funny.
here for hot animated characters making out. That's all I need to know. I'm locked in on Aladdin.
I mean, well, now you've got some work to do because you're missing a bunch.
I know. Why do you think we've never done a Disney animated collaborative draft here on this pod? It's because I veto it every time Ben wants to do it. Because it's too much work on my end. Well, I just got done watching friggin' 11 Miyazaki films in the last 3 weeks.
You say that like it's a chore.
Yeah, first of all. And also, like, that's comparable to how many you would watch from the Disney Renaissance period. It's like 10 movies that are like 90 minutes each, Ethan.
It's so true.
I got a lot of, I got to see The Brutalist for a 5th time. Bobby, we got our priorities here.
I can't. 5 of those movies in one screening of The Brutalist.
I'm sorry, my hands are tied. My hands are tied. Brady Corbet would want this for me. Okay, this is wonderful. So it has arrived to me, and I was fearful that really my one action horror pick would be taken. It's action horror, right? That's the category. That's what I've written down on my notes. Okay.
Wait, I thought it was action or horror.
It can be, yeah. It can be action or horror,
good.
action/horror. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this. I feel like this is a crowd favorite first, just so I can clear this category and feel better about myself. I'm gonna be taking Spider-Man and MJ's kiss from 2002's Spider-Man, the upside down kiss. I did see that movie when I was a young boy, and boy, I was like, man, I hope I can kiss like that one day. That is incredible content. Yeah, sure, upside down in the rain with Kirsten Dunst, whatever. I don't know, whatever you want to say was the goal out of that one. But boy, that's good stuff. I appreciate Sam Raimi putting that in the film.
It's so crazy how that's such a good scene, but was apparently such a nightmare to film for both of them.
Yeah.
Like so uncomfortable and gross.
Well, they made it
They
look
sold it.
dreamy in my eyes. and this is what is wrong with our culture today. Okay, so I'm going to be taking that in action horror. Man, I was really stressed that I wasn't going to get that. I needed that.
That is an iconic one. I thought you were going with something else, though. I'm surprised.
I appreciate you guys. Well, here is the next thing that I will be going with. My number one pick in my drama category. Just pulled it up on YouTube. Gonna start crying here. I'm gonna be taking the you know what? Actually, hold on. Can you guys vamp for a second for me? Because I gotta do a little bit of readjusting. I'm not positive that I want to take this.
I have the funniest hands waiting for you to do your drama pick. I'm gonna be so upset if you take mine.
I was really worried with action horror. I was like, I have one that you better not touch it.
That's mine for drama. The one that I wanted for drama is like the one I care about the most. I just wanted to get the Titanic out of the way because I had a feeling that both of you would have wanted that one.
That's the thing. I was in trying to prepare. I didn't really know. Like, I couldn't get into y'all's minds because I'm like, this is Marta and I's first time meeting. So I'm like,
hi,
okay. Hello. And then Ethan, I'm like, I don't know. I was sure Ethan had seen a Disney movie, so allegedly I know nothing about them.
You thought we were friends, but we're not. You don't know anything about me. Okay, I actually do want to make this. This is my official drama pick. I'm going to be going with the Ferris wheel kiss between Jesse and Celine in Before Sunrise.
All right, yeah, you can have that.
What the fuck, guys? That's so rude.
No, it's a great pick. It just wasn't
hate it. I hate when people do that. People do that to me all the time here, and they're like, "Oh, thank God, yeah, you can have that." But like it's scrapped or something. We're talking about Before Sunrise on the Ferris wheel. Have you guys seen this scene?
Oh, I considered it.
I'm going to link the YouTube video to this in the episode description. That's how strongly I feel about this scene.
Is that the first of the Before trilogy?
Oh my God, Bobby.
Okay.
It's just to end the draft now.
I did not like that movie. So
it was Sunrise, right? Yeah.
Before Sunrise, on the record, Bobby does not like Before Sunrise.
Y'all can't beat my ass over it. So like, here's the thing. I have a friend who loves that trilogy, and I do love Richard Linklater, so it's not that. I just wasn't the biggest fan of that movie in particular, but I did find, I guess the next one Before Sunset, the second one, I found it at a thrift store. I bought it with the intent purpose to watch it. So I'm giving the trilogy a chance. It's just that one I wasn't the biggest fan of.
It's fair.
It's beautiful. It's well made. Yeah. So
I think that's a bad take. That's all I'm going to say about
that. Oh no!
I mean, look, coming from the guy who just constantly gets up on the stand for Before Midnight is the best of the trilogy. I know what it's like. You know, I know what it's like to live a hard truth out here. But yeah, I'm going to be taking the Before Sunrise Ferris wheel kiss. This is where Jesse and Celine, they get on the Ferris wheel. And Jesse is just like a little 8-year-old boy. And he's like, "You're so beautiful. And I just want to kiss you." And he can't even say the words. And Selena's like, "Don't worry. We can make out." And it's pretty cool. It's all I ever hope for in a relationship. Wow. Just a massive weight lifted off of me. Got the two things I wanted. Wow. Okay, Bobby, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to go with my comedy category because I don't think either of y'all would have this, but I'm going to go with Morticia and Gomez in The Addams Family. They're very like dramatic kiss where he like dips her and everything. Honestly, any kiss in that movie between them is very hot and very steaming because they are constantly horny for each other. Um, yeah, I love them and I love their relationship. And comedy was kind of my weakest category, so I needed to get it out of the way.
I love that pick.
Thank you, thank you.
I didn't think of that, but that's a really, really good pick. They are very in love.
They're so like hot and heavy for each other. Like honestly, it's just like a little bit of plot and them just being all over each other. And I don't know. It's so good.
I would argue that they love each other the most out of any on-screen couple that I can think of.
I would have to agree. I would absolutely agree with that. They like Gomez, I think, would burn the earth for Morticia, and Morticia would do the same. And I love that. I love that for them.
Yeah.
I'm looking up the images of this, and I gotta tell you, when we're done recording this podcast, I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna whip out the arm kiss on my wife and see what happens.
I've had that done to me before, and it
really
is incredibly it is.
Whoa. Okay, positive review.
Yeah, it's both like hilarious, but also like very endearing and sweet.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Wow. The stamp of approval. It looks. Maybe I gotta watch The Addams Family. You're 0 for 2 on movies I've seen. Hate to break it to you.
You know, it's like I just think you gotta watch more movies, man.
I gotta watch more movies.
Yeah,
I gotta watch more movies.
I watched before sunrise. And I just didn't like it, so I watched it.
That's true. I'm
you
not doing
something that's not The Brutalist.
Yeah.
Nah. I don't know. Honestly, when you've seen that movie, all else pales. I did hit my personal goal. I saw over 365 films last year, and that was my goal. But unfortunately,
5 Brutalist screenings count towards that, or so it's really 360.
I'm not gonna stand for this slander. Okay, I don't need like a Ben stand-in to cut down my dreams here. Okay,
we both of our name starts with a B. I had to fill in somewhere.
It's true. It's all the same. One of them was The Brutalist at TIFF. Yes, it was. All right, Marta, back to you, and you've got a double this time.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. I'm going to do drama next because that's the one that I was the most concerned with. I'm going to go with the 3-way kiss from Y Tu Mama Tambien.
Ooh. Okay.
That is honestly my favorite horny movie. Not romantic, horny movie. Yeah, I think that kiss is incredible. Like, just especially coming like so close to the end of the movie, this whole trip and culmination of their journey. It represents so much for them as well. It's a great coming of age film too. Yeah. And it's hot.
Would you be mad if I said I hadn't seen it?
Really?
I also haven't seen it. I've just seen that scene, but I have not seen the whole movie. Yeah.
You guys should.
I've had a lot of people reach out to me on a constant basis of like, you got to see this movie. You'd like it. And I just haven't.
It's his best film, I would say.
Okay. I'll watch it. I promise. I'm pretty sure it's already on my watch list. So I think I'm set there,
If you were in Vancouver, I'd loan you my Criterion copy. Our group is doing like a video store type thing, or critics group.
Oh, man.
See, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's exciting. The trade of physical media.
Darren has a copy of, actually, I may play it later, of something that I may play right now.
Whoa, exciting. Okay, very exciting. Yeah, well, look, when you search Y Tu Mama Tambien on Letterboxd, it kind of gives you like a few articles that might be related to what you're searching. And one of them is the 3-way kiss and challengers. So that's exciting. Yeah. Wow. Okay, cool. Good pick. You got another one.
Oh yeah, I do have another one. Okay. I'm going to do comedy, and the one I'm going to pick. Oh, never mind. I'm not picking the one that I was going to pick for box office. I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to pick Some Like It Hot, Billy Wilder. Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis on the yacht. It's passionate. It lasts seemingly forever. They just keep kissing and kissing and kissing. And just the dialogue is great in that too. The quips between them. She's essentially teaching him how to like kiss properly. I think it's super sweet. And it's also, I mean, it's Marilyn, you know?
That's been on my watch list for a very long time. I might just watch that tonight. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm with you, Bobby. It's been on my watch list for a really long time. Like I said, as we go through this draft, I'm kind of pulling things up like on YouTube and getting pictures so I can associate. I am 7 seconds into this 4-minute clip, and Marilyn Monroe is like on top of him on a couch, and I'm almost out of breath to pod. That's where I am on this. So I think you hit a home run on this one, Marta.
Thank you.
Holy cow. Holy cow. I got to check this movie out big time.
Hot and heavy.
Hot and heavy. That's what we like here on the pod. You know, we're all for it. Okay. Bobby, you are up.
Okay. So what do we want to do? Dang, my box office section is decimated, but I will address that later. I'm going to go with a thing that I think is going to lock me in with a little bit of a win, not to be braggadocious.
Wow.
I'm going to do my horror category, and I'm going to do Megan Fox, Amanda Seyfried in Jennifer's Body. Not much to explain there. Hot lesbian action. What more do you want?
I didn't even think of that one, and I'm so upset now. I was actually kind of floundering with horror because it's a harder category.
It was so, because I had trouble too, and on IMDb they have like a poll of like the best kisses in horror, and they have the kiss between Kirsten Dunst and Brad Pitt in Interview with the Vampire, and I was like, oh, whoever voted for that should be on the list, I think, because she was 11, and that was weird. There is a kiss in that's good that doesn't involve the 11-year-old, I think. So
it's a good stance to take. That's a good take. Yeah, you redeemed yourself. You're back. Yeah. Yeah, there's not much to say. Look, I'm the only dude on this pod, but I'm pretty sure that we're all game for like, you know, just a little lesbian action. And I think that's great when that happens in movies. And I support it. And, you know, we're here. Jennifer's Body has been selected.
Yeah, it's like 2 seconds, but it's great.
It makes me want to select mine, which is a very similar vein, but I'd have to blow a wild card on it, and I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that.
Dang,
well, now you got me thinking. Shoot.
Wait, did you do horror already, Ethan?
No. Yeah, I did my action horror category. That would be Spider-Man that I chose for action. Yeah. So if I were to pick something like in that, I guess I could see if it qualifies for box office. Well, now this would be interesting if it qualified. There's just no way.
I mean, adjusted for inflation, and it might. Yeah. This might help you when you want to go against that rule.
This is true.
Once you adjust.
Okay, let's see. 1995. Well, I better not say what year it is.
No, keep going. What is it? 1990 what?
No, I mean, I have a great one, Bobby, that I would be willing to give up that I didn't use.
Ooh.
What are you guys What are you working together over here? What is this?
I feel like you did this to me during the A24 draft.
That's different.
Different time.
Yeah, no. Even adjusted for inflation, it's only 73 million.
What is it?
I'm not gonna fucking say. Get out of town. What if I want to draft it later?
Oh, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, my picks. I'm very set in my ways with these, so I don't think you would. But fair.
I'm just not ready to commit a wild card in round 3. I've had to commit a wild card in round 1 before, and I can tell you there's no feeling quite like it. It is literally every tweet that you've seen with Cillian Murphy holding a gun to his head. That's what it feels like, and it's terrible. And I will not do it again. In comedy, I'm going to be selecting the New Year's Eve kiss when Harry met Sally.
Nice.
That's good.
Nothing else to say about that, except it's just one of the best on-screen kisses of all time and one of the best movies of all time.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. Okay. I feel really good about that. We've all seen that movie, correct?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. Wasn't sure if Bobby was going to be like, well, overrated movie.
No.
Possible.
I own it. I have not seen it, but it's like a movie that I've absorbed because of the zeitgeist. That's my problem.
Sure.
I know a lot about a lot of movies, some of which I've never seen, but if you were to, like, I could hold a conversation about it because I love Nora Ephron. That's not my favorite Nora Ephron movie. I love Julie and Julia, but yeah.
Well, I hope that I have secured Sophie's vote. That's what I'm hoping for here.
It's a good film.
It's a really good film. And I will give Sophie credit. She did turn me on to this film. So all credit is due her way. And I believe Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal reunited for a little reunion for a Super Bowl ad, which I think is a terrible fad that we've been doing for a long time. But also, I kind of liked the ad. I thought it was kind of cool. Okay, I gotta adjust another box office, so hang tight for 1 second. Hold on,
I was vamping in between you building your list in real time.
Seriously.
You were building the plane as you were flying it.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. You know, it's a lot to do here. It's a lot to host, produce, draft, all at the same time.
I gave you the layup of a list of kisses.
Yeah.
It's a long list. I didn't read any of it. I have it up, but it's
there's an obvious wild card you could pick. I think that would get you votes. That's on that MTV list.
Ooh,
I wouldn't know. I haven't read the MTV list, even though it's up on my computer.
Or just like followed it. This is like the most iconic one. Like it was also recreated during the ceremony. I'm giving.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. Nah, I'm not ready for that.
What are you ready for?
God, how hard is it to find like an inflation calculator? How hard is it?
It's horrible.
Yeah,
it's really hard. I just had one and then I X'd out of it like a dummy. Dang it.
This is why you didn't want us to adjust for inflation.
Exactly.
Okay, wait, I found it. Okay, I'm back. I found my inflation calculator. Oh, we're so in. Marta, great idea. Adjusting the rules on the fly. I appreciate that. Really, really helped my cause here. So the final question that I have to ask myself before I draft this is it too much? Is it too much for my team? You know, am I not having enough fun is really where I'm at.
Why wouldn't you be having fun?
None of this is fun. I've never had fun in the 56 episodes we've ever made here on this podcast. It's not really about fun. It's about winning. So, but then again, you know, people are going to say I want it too bad. They're not going to vote for me. Well, whatever. I'm going to do it anyway. So in my box office category, adjusted for inflation, this film has made $134 million at the domestic box office. I'm going to be drafting Brokeback Mountain when Jack visits Ennis and pushes him up against the apartment wall and just can't hold it in any longer. And I remember being told to watch Brokeback Mountain for many years. And I was like, well, I don't know. It's just like, you know, we'll see. We'll get there when we get there. Watch Brokeback Mountain. Instant 5 stars. Just couldn't really do anything else the rest of the day. One of those things where you're like, God damn, I wish I watched this movie 10 years ago. I'm going to be taking that.
That's a great pick.
That is good. That was on the top of like all the lists that I saw.
It was. Notably, Sophie replied to my tweet with this. So again, I hope I've really sewn up the Sophie vote here. It is really, really what I'm going for in this draft.
It's like the People's Choice Award, but it's just for one person.
Yeah, exactly.
Person's choice.
The person's choice. That's all I wanted. Okay, good. That's my box office. Wow. My God, that was a struggle. I told you guys before we came on the pod that I've had 2 apple slices and 3 shots of espresso in the last 5 hours, and I'm feeling it right now. That's the zone that I'm recording in.
I love it.
I love it. I mean, I hope you guys are along for the.
No, it's great. You like it. I love it.
Okay, Bobby, back to you.
Okay, what have I done actually?
What have you drafted so far?
Yeah.
Well, it's in the doc that I work so studiously to uphold here on this movie. You in animated, you drafted Aladdin and Jasmine's First Kiss from Aladdin. In comedy, you drafted Marcia. Is that her name? Morticia and Gomez from the Addams Family. And in action horror, you took Jennifer's Body.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to do my drama category. Okay. And because I love the lesbians, I have another lesbian kiss.
Don't take mine.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Damn it!
And Selma Blair in Cruel Intentions.
That's so dumb.
Excellent pick.
You suck, Bobby.
It's mine, Ethan. It's
you
dumb,
suck.
but it's mine. You just got 2. And you had enough vamping time. Don't get on me.
I know. I just went the other way. I went for the gay kiss. I didn't go for the lesbian kiss.
You gotta know the people.
Maybe I should have. That was on my drama list. That was the one I was gonna pick the wild card for.
Womp womp. Didn't.
Should have done the wild card.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I don't want to do my wild card yet. I'm not ready for that.
Are you mocking me on my own podcast right now?
Well, yeah.
In live time?
Well, yes, I am, because I'm feeling confident, because I was like, so far what I've said hasn't really been on anyone else's list. Mm-hmm. So now I have the sweet taste of stealing something from someone else.
God,
that's great.
What a great scene.
It's very good.
It is. Truly.
It's such a good scene. Such a good movie. So hot. So sexy.
I haven't seen it in like easily a decade. I'm really due for a rewatch. But I remember that scene vividly.
I check in with that scene quite often, even if I don't check in with the rest of the movie. And the show, not that bad, actually.
Really?
Oh, really? I was going to ask your take on that. Interesting.
It's not. I think it very much so is a show. In order to get made, it needed the wrapper of an IP, which is unfortunate.
Okay.
But it's not that bad. It's like pretty. It's like good schlocky CW fodder. Which, like, if you like that and you meet it where it is, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
So sounds good. I mean, sounds good to me. My banner, if you're a patron member on Letterboxd, you can change your banner. The banner to Cruel Intentions is in fact this kiss. So I care about this. I care about this deeply, and you have stolen this from me. They did make a Cruel Intentions 2 the next year, which starred Amy Adams.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And that's all we'll say on that.
Yeah, and that's that. And then they made Cruel Intentions 3 in 2004.
That I don't know.
Just nobody ever heard of in that movie.
Goodness gracious! I feel like we got the point after 1. I could argue,
they didn't get that. You know, the people they went the IP route. They're like, we just got to keep.
More teenagers need to do cocaine out of a crucifix for us to get the point.
Fucking sick, honestly. That's so cool.
It is like objectively, it is cool.
It's really cool. Oh, dang it. That stinks. Okay, Marta, you're up for 2.
Okay. Let's do horror. I have 2 picks here. I don't know if I should choose the crowd favorite, which is still a movie that I absolutely adore. But recently I've been very, very inspired by another horror movie, which contains, I think, actually it would be a question of whether or not it counts as a kiss. I think it does, but it's a horror movie, so it turns into like an entire spectacle of like face sucking. And I'm not like literal face sucking. You know what? Let's go for, I don't know.
Well, I'm intrigued. If you don't go with the face sucking, can you at least just tell me, there's no way you're referring to like a face hugger kissing somebody's face. Okay, good. I thought you were going to try and skirt around this somehow in some fashion.
No, this one is like they start off as humans, but then it turns into a suck.
What are we talking about? What is happening right now?
No, I'm just curious as to what this is.
Are you going to draft? I think I'm going to do it because it's an iconic movie. It inspired The Substance heavily.
Wait, I think I might know what this is.
I'm going to go for it. Society by Brian Usna.
Okay, I didn't know what that was, but yes. I thought it was going to be The Fly or something.
No.
Yeah.
No. Although another pick that could have been that. If you Google Ethan
If you Google my name, this will come up. Is that what you're saying?
No. If you
Okay.
Google society, Brian, use a ending orgy or put shunting.
Yeah, I'll put that in my search history for sure. Let me just make sure that's tied to my family use iPad here. Make sure everybody can see what I've been searching in my personal time. The grotesque ritual of shunting that compromises the finale of society, in which the alien elite discard their human disguises and reveal themselves as icky, sticky mounds of incestuous, orgy-craving, pork-consuming flesh. What the fuck is going on? Yeah, so hot. That's unreal.
It's not hot, but you said horror, and I don't know. I decided in my eyes,
the pictures for this are insane.
No, I gotta look it up.
Holy shit! All right, I've never seen this movie, but I'm watching this ASAP.
That's the one that Darren borrowed because you can get it off of Arrow Video, but here in Canada you can't stream it anywhere.
Really? I wonder.
You're really trying to protect me from what?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what's wrong with literally society today, is that we've abandoned flesh-eating orgies.
Yeah. This is excellent.
Yeah.
And if you guys like the substance, I mean, not all of it. It's not like a direct inspiration, but there's a lot of scenes that are like, wow, okay, Corley Farjan must have watched Society. And it's funny. It's one of those like campy horrors. There's lots of jokes. Someone calls someone, I think, butt face, because he literally turns into a butt face. You like that sort of comedy.
It definitely does look like Monstro Eliza Sue.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that is what if you guys think it counts, I think it does.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just completely stunned right now.
I think it's just the daring of putting it up. I can't say no.
Yeah, I'm not going to read all that and be like, well, doesn't qualify. I mean, come on.
There is. Just trust me.
So how would you, Marta, the person that drafted this, how would you like me to distinguish this on our graphic that will go across social media platforms?
Oh, well, the kiss itself, I would say, is the most acceptable, because you know how I mentioned it's like a suck, like their faces like meld into one. They morph and then they expand like putty. I'm being so serious right now.
I really feel like I was honest with you guys and I was like, here's where I'm at in my mind state. Like, I'm already going a little crazy. And then you just did this and pulled this on me. Like that's a little unfair. I'm just going to write Society Shunty finale. Is that acceptable? Can I put Shunty on social media? Will I get flagged?
Not.
This is the most deranged thing we've ever talked about here on the show. I'm actually just going to put in all small words, icky, sticky mounds of incestuous orgy craving porn.
Perfect. Also, great movie. You should both really watch it. And I have another pick, right?
Yes, you do.
This one's very sweet, I promise. It's an animated movie. I'm going to go with Howl's Moving Castle. Because I didn't want to do Disney. Studio Ghibli movies are like my fave. Ghibli, sorry. And I was thinking about it and I was like, there isn't any kissing in any of these movies. And then I really got to thinking and I'm like, oh my gosh, there is in Howl's Moving Castle, the end. And then I rewatched it, the specific scene, and I was like, wow, this is so romantic. There on that balcony, the wind is blowing, like it's beautiful. I think it's the most romantic scene in a Ghibli movie.
Love that. Oh,
yeah,
that movie.
Yeah,
I love that for you.
Thanks.
Didn't place very high on our Miyazaki collaborative draft.
Really? From
where was it?
Across the board?
You guys are saying you don't listen to the show? I'm not going to reveal the information to you.
No, I meant like
trying to skirt the listens. Pad the listens, guys.
What?
No. A lot. Ben and Tyler liked it quite substantially, and I liked it substantially less than they did. Let's see. Howl's Moving Castle ended up at 5, but I tried to play it at 10, but they bumped it all the way up. Yeah,
That's bold, Ethan.
That's so bold.
it just wasn't for me. Like I said on the Miyazaki pod, like I really find myself like, this one's for me, this one's not for me, and that was just one of the ones not for me.
Was that like a first time watch for you?
It was.
Okay, I can see that because I watched Princess Mononoke for the first time within the past couple of years, and I was like, I get why people like this. I just don't like this.
Yeah.
So I understand that.
Yeah.
It's
Totally.
wrong, but I get it. I get you.
Cool. I'm glad that we're revealing so much about our really, really intense takes about what each other think of movies.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a real honesty session here. Okay, Marta, you got your 2. Bobby, you've got a pick.
Oh, damn. I have my box office or my wild card. Okay. Damn. Okay. So, this brings me to the question that I asked off air, but I will ask on air. One of my wild cards is technically a kiss that does not happen on screen. I suppose it's implied and does exist within the context of a deleted scene, but it's not in like the text of the movie itself. Would that count?
Huh. That's an interesting one. I will, just in the spirit of the draft, I will allow it because we allowed Marta's resolution and it passed the House and the Senate, and I am all of those branches combined. So I will allow it, but I will warn you, it will say deleted scene on the graphic.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're good with
I think
that?
I can make a good argument for it.
Let's hear it.
Okay. So I'm going to do. No, wait. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I didn't know. I didn't know if I was ready to do my wild card. I'm going to do In the Mood for Love, which it was a deleted scene where they do kiss.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
I want to make the argument that I think the kiss, not us not seeing the kiss, makes the kiss that much more impactful.
Yes. I totally co-sign this. I totally co-sign this. You're spot on. Now, this is in your wild card?
Yes.
Do we know if the forthcoming rumored extended edition of In the Mood for Love, will this scene be put in that extended edition? I do not know.
I don't know. The only evidence I've seen of this kiss is like one picture. It's not even like, it's not been leaked or anything like that. It's like a picture of them kissing. So maybe.
Interesting.
Oh, I've never been more heartbroken in my life. Oh my God. That's
Yeah,
like one of my favorite. I have it tattooed.
That is
I love
sick. Oh my gosh.
I saw
That's
it yesterday
incredible.
in theaters last night for a double feature with 2046.
Ooh.
Crazy on the big screen. So nice. But yeah, I love it. That was one of the movies that when Ethan messaged me about this, I was like, oh, In the Mood for Love, of course. And then I remembered they don't actually kiss. So yeah. Great.
I was going to loophole my way into putting it in this draft. I was like, no, I can find a way. I know they don't kiss, but don't they?
That was the one. The first one that came to mind. The second one was La Dolce Vita and the Trevi Fountain. I had it in my mind that they kiss, but they actually don't. They just kind of stare at each other super close.
We'll see if we do that almost kiss draft. Then you can use the whole like body of the movie.
Yeah.
And it works. So
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
I gotta watch that movie again. I own it. It's somewhere in my pile of DVDs, but I watched it for the first time in college and I was like, oh my God, wow. The movies. I love this.
That's a really good pick. I commend you. Yeah. I think that's one of the more innovative picks we've ever had on the draft.
Thank you.
Dang.
I don't think I'm going to beat shunting, but I certainly tried my best.
Yeah, you gave it your best effort for sure.
Thank you.
I've only seen In the Mood for Love once, and it was when I was like first getting into movies, which was the wrong time to watch that movie because that is not a like, what is this movie? That is like a oh, I understand movies and I get what Wong Kar-wai does and what we're going for. I've since obviously seen Chungking Express and some others that have kind of helped shape my ideas of In the Mood for Love. I don't think I've updated my letterbox though, so like I think public knowledge is like I'm out on In the Mood for Love. I'm very much in. I just need to rewatch it and relog it. That's a personal problem of mine, as Bobby so politely called out earlier. I just need to watch more movies, and I apologize in public for that. So
I would say it hits when you haven't seen it in a while, and you like really kind of sit down and like dig into what's happening and like all of the like it's such a physical movie because it's so much like non-verbal storytelling between the two of them, and it's so hot and heavy. And like when I think about the whole idea of like horny versus erotic, like that movie is so deeply erotic and they barely touch each other, and it's like I recommend revisiting it now with that added context because it's so good.
Dang. Yeah, that's a really good call out. That's a great call out. All right. I've got animation and I've got wild card. I'm going to be the first one to finish up the team. Unfortunately, cannot draft Cruel Intentions in my wild card slot.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's really too bad.
What happened there?
It's really too bad. Okie dokie. Animated, I'm up in the air on 2. And I'm curious. I kind of just wanted your guys' take on this. So I'm thinking of Lady and the Tramp. That's pretty iconic, right? But my heart is saying that I should lean. Well, hold on. I'm watching it and I'm trying to gauge my real-time thoughts. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm going to go with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I'm going to go with the prince kissing Snow White. Now, there's many reasons that I'm choosing to go with this. Obviously, Snow White, pretty integral to the world and history of animation. Besides the fact that the prince has the power to bring her back to life, I think that's pretty cool. Go men. And you know, and the third thing is that my aforementioned 4-year-old daughter Lucy just loves Snow White. She's only seen it once, but she loves it. She asks to listen to the score. And if that's not dedication, I don't know what is. So this one's for you. I'm going with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. What are you guys laughing at? It's a good pick.
That was a journey from, I think, the Go Men, really. And then ending it with dedicating it to your daughter after saying Go Men.
I covered the full span. I covered everything I needed.
God. I don't know. I think that's such an interesting, that's just such an interesting pick in the grand scheme of things. And I know it does also come from the fact that you have not seen many other Disney movies because I don't think most people would pick that, but I do. I understand it.
I mean, Hercules and Megara were on my list. I'm a Hercules guy. Megara, incredibly hot. Like one of the hottest animated characters of all time.
Yeah, she is.
I was just trying to mix it up. You know, I was just trying to go classic. And okay.
I mean, that's more iconic, I would argue.
Yeah. But sometimes it's not about iconic. You know, I have a lot of iconic kisses on my team.
That's true.
You gotta mix it up. You can't go all icons all the time. Get tired. So with that idea for wild card, I will be taking. What am I going to be taking? Well, shoot. You guys still have your wild cards to go. Well, you do, Marta. Bobby, you've got box office. Eligible, I guess, what I was going to talk through here. So we need to figure out where we're going with this. I guess I'm committed. It's kind of a personal favorite. Well, okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. I wrote a movie off below my short list that I had not clocked until right this second. I'm going to do it. I'm going to modernize my team a little bit. I feel like I have, some throwbacks. Nothing to like the 2020s, really. So we are going to be going with the Challenger 3-Way Kiss. It is both erotic and hot.
That's so great for you.
You so thought awesome. You had it. Oh, boy.
That's so great for you.
I feel so good right now. And God damn it. If I was any one of those three characters, I would engage in that moment wholeheartedly. No problem.
I love that in that moment. I've never felt so kindred with Zendaya, where she just forces their heads together. Did that with so many Barbies over the years. I'm like, girl, I get you. I really do. I get this moment.
I would like to note, this won't show up in the graphic, but I would like to note here on the pod that me drafting this scene does in fact include Patrick hitting Art's boner. I just want that to be put out in the world. That's one of my favorite movie scenes of 2024. All right, I've completed my team. Bobbi, back to you. Were you going to draft that?
Yeah, I was actually, because I didn't have many in box office. Wait, did it make? Wow. I'm sure it made 100 million, right?
Oh gosh, one would think.
So maybe I wasn't going to draft it after all.
If Challengers made less than 100 million domestically, I think that we should never make movies again. Holy fuck! It only made $50 million. It didn't even make $100 million worldwide, at least according to Box Office Mojo.
Yeah, it's made 96. Damn, that's crazy.
I get the domestic international split, like less international, I get it, but holy mother of God. I guess I got to come good on that. Don't stop making movies, everybody. We're done. It's over.
Halt production, everyone.
Halt production.
Okay. All right. Y'all might have to do a little bit of vamping because
that's okay.
Well, it does make my steal not a steal anymore. That makes that pick a little less fun for me.
Oh,
I'm really curious what people will like more, Y Tu Mamá También or Challengers. There's a question to ask the crowd.
That's a good question.
I think the answer to that question lies in Pamela Anderson's visit to the Criterion Closet, where she says, "I might not be a cinephile, but I do like movies." I think that's where we're at on that one. The cinephiles you might round them up, and I'm just gonna get the guys that like movies, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think this is my most. Well, no, I do have Society on here. I was gonna say I think this is the most friendly draft that I've crafted with like the most popular stuff that people would like for this podcast. Like usually I go with the deeper cuts, I think. But then, like I said, I did include Society, so
yeah, you just couldn't stick it out the whole way. You just had to throw in a Marta special in the middle.
Yes, absolutely. If I can get one person to watch Society from listening to this, my job is done.
I was ready to buy it on Arrow Video when you were talking about it, but they're sold out. Arrow, if you're listening, send me a copy.
eBay.
Barnes and Noble is having a sale on Arrow Video. So.
Oh yeah, they are. That's true. Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. This is awesome. This is actually podcasting at its finest. I'm going to be going on Barnes & Noble right now, and we're going to be looking to see if my local Barnes & Noble carries an Arrow copy of Society. Now, when I search Society in the Barnes & Noble tab, inevitably a million things are going to populate.
You think?
Dead Poets Society. I mean, there's a lot. Dune books populated. Geez Louise. How do we hone this in?
Filmmaker name. Like the title and then the filmmaker name.
Society. Arrow. Now, look, how do I do this? Can I do Society?
Brian? Or just put Uzna. YUZNA.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you're Canadian. You say Z. That's really funny.
Oh yeah, you guys say Z. That's weird. I don't like that.
Hey man, I don't accept any form of slander here. It's not coming up.
What?
Barnes and Noble's just like, no, we don't.
Maybe I can mail you mine. You can borrow it. It can be like a sisterhood of the traveling society.
Wow, that would be intense. That would be intense. I'm trying to see if they should have like a special collection because they have 50% off Arrow Video. Here we go. We've found it. Bobbi, how's the research treating you?
I know.
Am I? Did he freeze? Nope, he's back.
Okay. I need you guys to know that I've been searching and trying to calculate. One of my movies made allegedly $300,000 at the box office.
Oh my god.
I'm having a little bit of trouble with
Wow.
with box office because I want
I-
to end it with a bang, and I
Mm.
don't feel like
I'm
gonna
not
be
sure
able to do
that
that.
movie qualifies,
I
unfortunately.
can give you one. I don't know if you want to use it, but
Wait. I think I might have one.
No.
This is an old standby. Is it the one that I wanted? No. But is it the one that might help me out? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Edward and Bella's first kiss from Twilight.
Nice. That's really
Yeah.
good.
that's
Yeah.
a smart pick.
They apparently, according to the MTV Best Kiss Awards wiki, won 4 years in a row.
Wow.
Yeah, beating out the Hunger Games, basically the Hunger Games and Harry Potter for most of those years. Avatar, Zoe Saldana and Sam Worthington, and Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron in High School Musical 3 senior year. So
Never
stiff
seen it.
competition, if you ask me.
That's looking at this is the first time I looked at this list. This is insane that this is a thing. They beat out Natalie Portman and Mila Kunis in Black Swan, of whom have not been drafted here today.
Okay.
I
Think about
that.
I didn't think about that either, but think about the MTV voting body. Had they
I do. I think about that on a regular basis, actually.
like, just let's take a beat. Are those the people that watched the Black Swan and we're voting for it? If it's Twilight, best believe those 13-year-olds mobilized like the Marines to vote for that movie. So that's what happened there.
Yeah, I could see that being the case.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
Avatar lost, That's tough. Holy cow.
Yeah,
Wanted
Yeah.
was nominated. Angelina Jolie and James McAvoy. Have you guys seen the movie Wanted?
I haven't.
I have not either.
It's an incredible trash flick.
I haven't
Where
even heard
they-
of it. I'll be honest.
It's basically like a secret society of assassins that learn to curve the bullet when you shoot. And it's pretty fucking cool. At least it was cool for a 12-year-old boy. I don't know about now.
How old
Angelina
is it?
Jolie gets out of a healing bath naked, and that was cool for a 12-year-old boy. How
That's
old is
cool
it?
for
It's
us
old.
now.
It's cool for us now. This is true, actually. This is very true. It is a 2008 film, but I clicked on the Wikipedia, and at the top it says not to be confused with Wanted 2009 film.
Mm.
Interesting, which is a Hindi language action thriller.
Mm.
Interesting.
Makes sense.
Well, I highly recommend watching Wanted, but that
They-
wasn't drafted here today. Twilight was drafted.
They also beat out Crazy Stupid Love, which I'm realizing I probably should have picked, but I don't know if it made 100 million domestically.
Mm.
And I couldn't do the math quick enough because I got rid of the calculator I was using. So for my sanity, I'm
Yeah.
going to say it didn't make 100 million, and that's good.
I think you would have been in the clear, actually. $84 million in 2011? I don't know.
Mm.
That might have been close. That might have
That
been
would
close.
be, I think.
Can we like turn back time a la share? And
No, absolutely not. We cannot do that.
shit. Ugh.
In the year, when did Crazy Stupid Love come out? 2011.
Yeah, 2011.
Okay,
Around
while I
there.
do this, let me quickly follow up. I was not able to find Society on the Barnes & Noble website. But
Bummer.
I gave up looking. Sorry.
I'm surprised you don't use eBay, Ethan.
Yeah, I have not really used eBay for movies. My wife actually very generously bought me a reprint of a German Boogie Nights poster from eBay recently. Like the coolest poster I own. It's really incredible. She also bought me this wonderful book on Frances Ha. It's like 800 pages long. It's beautiful coffee table book where basically every page is just like a still from Frances Ha and has the script like on the back 60 pages. It's incredible. I stare at it every day. I have it on my desk. It's wonderful.
So I'm confused. So you're giving me reasons why eBay is amazing, and yet you're not on eBay.
Yeah. Scares me a little bit. It scares me that once I enter the eBay realm, I won't be able to get myself out.
Yeah, it's addictive. Half of this wall is eBay. So
See, but that's cool. Well done, Impressive. It would have made $118 million, but
Wow.
I only ventured on that journey to disappoint you, Bobby. That's why I did that today. So you've chosen Edward and Bella's first kiss from Twilight over Crazy Stupid Love.
But I think this is the
also
people's
did not.
vote.
Yeah,
True.
I'm trusting the people to come through, but at the same time, I know Crazy Stupid Love is so beloved, and I watched the scene where they all of the truths come out scene where like everyone starts fighting again, and I was like, this movie is so great, and then I chose Twilight. So yeah,
Tough reality that you're living in now. Marta, you're the final pick here on the draft. You've got a wild card slot to fill.
Wild card, yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna keep going with my heart. I know this probably won't be for the people, but it's for me. Coincidentally, another movie I just saw, the 4K re-release in theaters, The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. Specifically where they're kissing in that alleyway with all those different colors, like it's blue, green, pink walls. It's just like perfectly cinematic. It's right before he gets drafted and leaves for war. You hear their like theme song playing again, like one of the best scores ever, in my opinion. Yeah, it's a very painful moment, very bittersweet but romantic.
That's a really good pick.
You think?
I do. I think that's
so.
I think it's a wonderful pick. Dang, nice.
Thank
Good
you.
movie for people who haven't seen it. I mean, you obviously mentioned the 4K re-release. Unfortunately, it did not come to my city, which I felt I was a little disappointed with. Yeah,
That's a bummer.
it's too bad. Oh man, I just saw a still of them in the snow at the gas station. Fuck. Well,
yeah,
I'm ruined for the night, and I got to do another pod after this. This is not going to go well.
Wait, have we all made our picks for wildcard? Can I say the one that I wanted to go with before I followed my heart?
Please.
Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
Whoa, no spoilers. Haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
Quick shout out to Brian Sudfield. He texts me almost every week, and he's like, "Have you seen Portrait of a Lady on Fire yet?" And I always say no. And it's gotten to the point where I think I have to keep doing this. So
you gotta see it. It's iconic.
Just for the bit, you have to be like, "Oh,
good
spoilers."
Nope, haven't done it. And I actually do. I text him the gif of Walter White, being like, "You got me." Except it just says, "Nope, I haven't seen it." Let's go through our teams. Let's read our teams. I have a few honorable mentions that I do want to toss out in case we want to do that before we wrap here. Marta, do you want to walk us through your team? Tell us what kissing scene you drafted in which category.
Okay. Drama, Y Tu Mama Tambien, three-way kiss. Comedy, Some Like It Hot, hot and heavy couch on yacht scene. Box office, Titanic, front of the boat. Self-explanatory. Horror Society, shunting orgy. Animated, Howl's Moving Castle. Balcony, Swirling Wind, yada yada, really romantic. Wild Card, Umbrellas of Cherbourg. I just talked about it, so yeah, it's that one.
It's good. It's a good team. Anytime you see shunty orgy, I just can't. I lose all focus. Bobbi, why don't you walk us through your team?
Okay, so for my team for animated, I had Aladdin and Jasmine's first kiss on Jasmine's balcony. For comedy, I had Morticia and Gomez in The Addams Family, any of their kisses. For action horror, I had a Jennifer and Needy's kiss in Jennifer's body on the bed. For drama, I had I don't know why I'm blanking on their names, but Sarah Michelle Gellar and Selma Blair's characters in Cruel Intentions. And wildcard, I had the deleted scene from In the Mood for Love, where they kiss. And for box office, I had Edward and Bella's first kiss and Twilight. And is this the time where we do our honorable mentions? So I can mention what else I had and show you guys how much of a dumbass I am.
Yeah, you can. Go ahead.
Okay, thank
Go
you.
for it.
My wild card, which was the movie that allegedly only made $300,000 at the box office, I don't believe that's true though, was Tommy Dewey and Melissa Barrera's kiss in Your Monster from last year. It's one of my favorite movies from last year. Animated, I had Max and Roxanne's kiss in a Goofy movie. It's just like a little sweet kiss on the cheek at the very end. And then Hercules and Meg from Hercules. Box office, I had Jack and Rose's kiss, the "You're so stupid, Rose." Like she gets off the boat, the lifeboat, and like stays on the boat with him. I also had Shrek and Fiona's kiss from
Yep.
Shrek. Drama, I had Rear Window because I love
Yep.
that movie.
Me too.
Comedy. Now this is where I'm a dumbass. I had Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling in Crazy Stupid Love. So I wrote it down and didn't go with it. So yeah. And then action horror, I had Lestat and the random lady in Interview with a Vampire because that was the only age appropriate kiss that happened in that movie. And then Aaliyah and Stuart Townsend in Queen of the Damned, which was like on the bubble of almost making $100 million adjusted for inflation, but it was at like 87 million or something like that.
Queen of the Damned. Okay, I might have an interesting story for you about this film.
I love
this movie. So Queen of the Damned came out in 2002. We're going to take a little bit of a very fast sidebar here. So in 2002, I was 8. And in my local grocery store, Albertsons, they had an in-house movie rental little shop. It was great. Get your groceries and you go rent a movie. And it was like really a very small space, but the walls were lined with VHSs and DVDs, right? And sometimes my dad would let me get, the Disney Surprise Inside chocolate ball. You guys ever have those? Great stuff.
Oh, yeah, the Wonder Balls.
The Wonder Balls, exactly. Yes. So this was great. Every single time that I would walk into this, because obviously, your parents are checking out, and I'm like, can I go to the movie shop? I want to go look at the movies and look at the covers. Queen of the Damned, pretty erotic cover for an 8-year-old kid. And I just it's glue. It is burned into my brain. So when you said that, I was like, pretty sure I know that movie. And I'm looking on Letterboxd, and I know that poster. I haven't seen the movie. I have no idea what it's about, but boy, that's an imprinted poster.
Don't.
I put it on my watch list.
Okay, well, do. And just skip to the parts where Aaliyah, who plays Queen Akasha, who is the titular Queen of the Damned, she's the best part of that movie, hands down. If you know anything about the Anne Rice universe of vampires, throw all of that knowledge out of the window because the movie does not utilize it at all. And the scene that I'm talking about is basically at the end, which makes the movie worth watching. It's them in a bathtub and they start having sex in the bathtub and they start levitating, and it's very beautiful and hot and sexy. Set to Change by the Deftones.
I gotta watch that movie. I gotta watch that movie. When you said they start levitating, I was like, cool, like First Reformed. That's where my brain is. So that's what I'm on right now. Much less physical in First Reformed, just tying barbed wire to their bodies. Okay, for my team in action horror, I picked Spider-Man, The Upside Down Kiss. In drama, I picked the Ferris wheel kiss between Jesse and Celine in Before Sunrise. In comedy, I chose the New Year's Eve kiss in When Harry Met Sally. In box office, I took Brokeback Mountain, the kiss between Jack and Ennis. In animation, I picked Snow White because, a man brings her back to life just with a kiss. And in wild card, I chose the 3-way kiss plus boner slapping in challenges. That is what I've chosen on my team. I do have a few honorable mentions. Bobbi, I do want to say I appreciate your love for Your Monster. Great film that nobody saw.
Such a good movie.
I haven't seen it yet.
Just a wonderful film.
I think its distribution thing got
bungled.
So bungled. So I don't know what it was like in Canada, but here it was like crazy. So yeah, very, very good movie.
The only way that I watched that movie is because I had a screener, so I can attest to the bungleness of the distribution. Let's see. I had Moonlight, Chiron and Kevin on the beach. The Notebook, obviously, The Rain Kiss. I think that's like the big omission from this draft. A lot of people will probably shout about. Casablanca, famously. I had The Second Kiss on my list. Watched that this morning. I was very close to drafting. Instead of challengers, I was going to take the planetarium kiss in La La Land. The kiss, they start floating. Yeah. Very near and dear to my heart. Somebody had suggested the dance floor kiss in All of Us Strangers, which I thought was a pretty good recommendation. And then I had one more drama that I wanted to draft, and maybe if we went 8 or 10, I would have. But the golden hour kiss in Babylon, when they're filming and Brad Pitt and the butterfly, I think that's movies, and I think that's wonderful. Dumb and Dumber, Lloyd's Fantasy, I had for comedy. My coworker's going to be really disappointed because I tried to pick his brain all day about what I should draft, and he just kept telling me to draft that one, and I didn't draft it. Shout out Kevin Mikos, friend of the pod, guest of the pod. We did not draft the paintball kiss from 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah.
Because it's a pretty average movie. Nothing really to talk about there. And then for comedy, the other one that I had was the car kiss in 40-Year-Old Virgin. The kiss that turns into vomiting on Steve Carell and eating the shellfish at the bar, which I still think is pretty funny to this day. Those are pretty much all that I had on my list. Marta, did you have any honorable mentions you want to go through?
Yeah, I mean, both of you said stuff that I had. Rear Window was the box office one that started this whole discussion. Because if you were to adjust it, that made over, 100 million. So there was that. I also had Moonlight. I also had, what else did you guys say that I had? I don't know, a lot from both of you. Then I also had The Shining, the bathroom kiss. Which I'm also surprised none of us did. I had Lady and the Tramp, Fantastic Mr. Fox in the Sewer, just because it's so cute. The Matrix, and Matrix would have been under box office. And then, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, as I said.
Pretty good ones. I mean, it does constitute next year another draft, I will say, where all of these that we have drafted are ineligible. And then we can kind of go through again because there's so many good options, so many good kissing scenes out there. We have completed the movie kissing scenes draft here on the Movie Draft Podcast. A totally normal and regular style draft here on the show. Massive thank you to both of you, Bobbi, Marta, for joining us on this draft. Bobbi, if people want to find more of you, where can they find you at?
You can find me ranting and raving on Twitter at Hi, I'm Bobbi, HIIMBOBBI. And then you can find me being a little bit more buttoned up and fun on YouTube over at Culture Kitsch, spelled how it sounds, Culture Kitsch. And that's where I am these days.
Yeah. Recommend following Bobbi on social media. Once again, just great content all the way around. Marta, if people want to find more of you, where can they find you at?
Yeah, I'm most active on Instagram right now. So that's marta.mcfly. That's also where I'll be updating and sharing on my stories when I launch my new publication and new podcast. But if people want to listen to my old podcast, that's McFly's Movie House, wherever you get your podcasts. And Letterboxd, I write very long reviews. Marta McFly, no period.
Sometimes I try to take inspiration from you, Marta, and be like, hey, I'm going to take this Letterboxd review very seriously. And then I write 2 sentences and I'm like, maybe not tonight. And then I go to bed. But you know what? There's one exception for that. And that would be The Brutalist, because The Brutal Boy is the hive is strong. You guys can't just sigh on me like that.
You said you watched it like 5 times. What am I?
And I've written longer reviews every single time.
You could have watched like 12 movies in that time.
You could have seen the entirety of the Disney Renaissance within your 4 to 5 watches of The Brutalist.
But what are you going to do? You know? Do any of those Disney Renaissance films have somebody getting high, receiving a hand job? I don't think so. You know, that's really what we're going for here.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame, probably.
Whoa. Oh, no. I got proven wrong. No thanks to Sophie and Ben for, A, not co-hosting with me, and B, not having any input on the rules, on my team formations. I was left to be a straggler. I was left to find out on my own. And I feel pretty good about it. We'll be back next week with a really exciting draft that has not happened yet and has not materialized because we're waiting on a guest, but I believe it will be a really, really good draft. Be sure to listen and subscribe to the Movie Draft Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes will be released weekly on Tuesdays. We'll see you then.